It's real breakfast hours. Eat breakfast if you up. Today's breakfast is, we had scrambled eggs and hash browns, and Mike had some sausage and coffee and I think orange juice with it. Welcome back.
You know what? It's time.
Oh, I like it.
One of our viewers actually Venmoed me when I said at the last episode I said Venmo us.
Oh god.
It was bang. Now I don't have to do the silly finger thing anymore. Maybe next time I'll put a little bit more effort into the presentation here.
Mm-hmm. Just some jiggles? Oh god.
Some explosions or God knows what. No, a couple little balloons or something.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you don't get ahead of yourself.
Well, 16. Thank you.
Before we jump into things, do we have any viewer-submitted breakfast?
You know what? I think we do.
I certainly don't. So.
Well, you know, your friends, they're always dragging.
They are
always bringing us down.
You know what? I know they're dragging because I uploaded a video on Wednesday and it flopped.
Sheesh. You know, I'm not the same YouTube channel I was a flopped video ago.
So if you haven't seen the medical school video, check it out if you're interested. I guess maybe some people just don't care about that, which is fine. But I did expect it to get more traction because I thought, you know, like maybe random people would see it and want to watch it.
How long was it?
Like under 20 minutes, like 19 something. I tried to trim it.
Not super long.
I wanted it to be, I guess ideally it would have been under 10 minutes, but I'm too much of a talker.
She's chatting.
I'm chatting. Chat.
We do have one breakfast at least from my friend Ty, who I don't even know if he actually watches this. He just happened to send a picture of his breakfast. And I was like, hey, is that a real breakfast hours submission? He was like, sure. So Ty's got, I think he went out to breakfast here. Looks like some good old fashioned pancakes, bacon, and eggs. And then whoever he's with is eating a cheeseburger.
And fries.
Yeah.
And you know what? It all looks good.
Yeah. Thank you, Ty. We appreciate it.
Now, before we get into what happened last week and where we've been, I did want to say I got some statistics for you all. So,
FBI statistics.
I was looking at the channel stats because I was like, I feel sometimes when you look on the YouTube studio for video analytics, it will say like how many unique viewers there were, and then it will also tell you like if most of the viewers in a certain period have been new viewers, like who've never watched a video of yours before, or they are like returning viewers. And I always notice that a lot of times the new viewer count is higher than the like returning user count. So then I was like, oh, people talk about, you know, most people who watch my videos aren't subscribed. So I wanted to look at that. Most of the views, people are not subscribed. But the longest, like, view time, like the watch hours, is more on, like, people who have subscribed.
That's not surprising. That just means that people who subscribe actually want to watch the whole thing, whereas people who are not subscribed watch a few minutes to see what it's about.
True. But, so if you are seeing this video and you haven't tuned out yet, please subscribe.
Drop a subscription.
Or at least stick around for a few more minutes. Maybe you'll get to something you like.
Something juicy like the Taylor Swift drama or something.
Yeah, well, we actually do have that. So, jingle jangle. It's Taylor Swift, jingle jangle. Stick around.
We should put some Subway Surfers up on the side. Or like a Family Guy clip, or somebody scooping ice cream, or something ridiculous.
All the different like ASMR stuff.
It's like, oh, sorry, your attention span is fried for all the TikTok you've been watching. Well, here's some jingling keys to keep your attention.
So, subscribe. But also, where have we been? Well, if you noticed, we went a few weeks without a real breakfast hours. And I know in the last one we talked about how we went up to my parents' camp and we went to Canada. So you already know about that. Well, we had submitted, or we had filmed, and I had edited a real breakfast hours last weekend. And it should have been up. That's the one I think that we talked about Canada. But, or not last weekend, it must have been the weekend before, huh?
Well, the last time, the most
The
recent
weekend
Real
before.
Breakfast Hours.
Okay, so we submitted Real Breakfast Hours last weekend, and then we didn't film one because it was an old one from the week before, which I guess that week before, June 4th, we went to Myrtle Beach. It was very fun. We will get into that. But the night before, well, the day before.
Oh my god.
Can you let me live? Can I live?
You gotta be able to play through a little bit of reactions. Like, if I was telling you a story and you're like, jeez, like, I wouldn't just stop talking. Like, I wouldn't need to restart the story.
But you keep doing it because I'm struggling to find the words, and then you're messing me up more. Look at this. Now we've gone 3 minutes.
Be better.
Yeah, Okay, so, June 4th, we went to Myrtle Beach. The day before, we had filmed Real Breakfast Hours, and the night before, I edited it, and I had it set to upload and everything, okay? It said that it had, we've been through this before. I saved to my computer the video from Final Cut Pro, and then I have to take that, and I have to put it in YouTube and upload it there. So it's like 2 upload processes. So, I did the one from my computer, it said it was good, so then I set it to go onto YouTube, and I just slept after that, because I was like, oh, we're so good, we're so lit, you know? And we had to wake up pretty early the next morning, like 3:30 a.m. or something, so that was a thing. And when I saw it was set to, and I had just scheduled it to upload at like 7 a.m. or something, so we were not going to be in the house anymore, because our flight was pretty early. And I did not realize that the video that when it saved to my computer, it said it was an hour and 6 minutes like it was supposed to be, but it like stopped at like 38 minutes and 56 seconds or something like that. And so when I had uploaded it, it only uploaded to YouTube the 38 minutes because that was the only part that was like actually the video that was properly running. So, but I thought, because my computer the night before, when it had been uploading to YouTube, when I woke up in the morning, it said that it had like shut down unexpectedly. So I thought, it said it was like still good and set to upload when we left on YouTube, so I thought, oh, well, maybe that didn't affect it. And then when we were at the airport, I noticed that it had I was trying to like post to everyone, hey, it's up, and then I realized that it was only 38 minutes, and I decided to take it down, and I was like, okay. But I thought it had just messed up uploading to YouTube because my computer had shut down. So then the next weekend when we came home on like June 10th, I just like set it to upload again because I thought, like, our normal clip, I wasn't watching it through again, but it had said it was an hour and 6 minutes. So I thought, you know, but apparently no, because it's still uploaded as 38 minutes. And then I went through and I checked at that point in the video, and sure enough, it like just kind of froze, and then the timer kept going, but there was no actual video footage. So I had to re-download it and then upload it. So that was last weekend's Real Breakfast Hours, was actually filmed the week prior, and it was supposed to be up the week prior, unfortunately.
Yeah, I got a little bit boozled, but I guess it was alright because it's not like we filmed the Real Breakfast Hours that weekend anyway.
Well, we would have, I'm sure, but I was like, what am I going to do? Upload 2 Real Breakfast Hours in a row? That's weird. So I just let it be last week's, and we won a few weeks with that one.
Comment down below if you want 2 Real Breakfast Hours in a row.
So true.
Yeah, you gotta get them comments there. Any interaction is good interaction.
That's true.
So at this point, I'm sure if you're like a bigger account, you don't want negative interaction, but
I think you always just want any interaction.
well, we just need people to be talking about us.
Because that was part of the thing that people would complain about on YouTube, is that like even the dislikes were interaction. So accounts that, or videos that were getting like lots of dislikes got like really popular because so many people were disliking them, and it still counted as an interaction. So negative stuff does work too, I think.
Hit that dislike button.
Oh, please don't do that. That will hurt my heart. But I only have very few videos that have any dislikes on them. In fact, I think I have like maybe 1 or 2, and it'll only have like 1 dislike. I'm like, who came on to watch this video just to hit the dislike button?
People just be pressing dislike on things. I like. There's a really good video on YouTube. It's an oldie but a goodie, and it's dog eats bean burrito in like 10 seconds or whatever, and it's just some guy filming. You know, his camera's up here, and he's got a big old burrito in his other hand. He's like, this is Bubba, and it's his big old dog, and this is a bean burrito from Taco Bell. Does Bubba want the burrito? He's like, sit, and he just drops it, and it goes just like right down the dog's throat, and he goes, bam, gone. It's like a 9-second video. did exactly what you got in the thumbnail and the title. Quality video. It's got a bunch of dislikes. Like, it's obviously got more likes than dislikes, but, you know, however many thousand people disliked that video. Why?
No, that was probably.
What did you not get?
You're abusing your animal.
Oh no, the dog's gonna poop. Like, I'm just saying, you know.
I'm saying I get that more than.
It was advertised.
My video was like, I think it's either like the HelloFresh one, or like the one where we did our personality test.
Well, you're Ian, whatever the hell. So
that's not even. You already got that one.
They disliked because they don't like her personality type.
Okay. They probably didn't even watch it through. They probably like watched a minute and then were like.
They're like, oh, there's a woman in this video.
So true. That's why my video on med school got like no views because it's just me.
Yeah, they come for me. They do.
On my channel.
It's because my friends be submitting the breakfasts too.
I know. Yeah, my friends just hate me actually. So.
What friends?
Yeah.
Real friends would submit their breakfasts.
So do you want to tell us about Myrtle Beach?
Oh yeah, so take it from the top, I guess. My grandparents used to always go to Myrtle Beach. You know, I don't know if it was once a year, but it felt that way for us. And I went there a couple of times. My grandparents used to have motorhomes, RVs, and they would drive down. My grandfather, you know, rest in peace, he passed away I think it's been a year now, just about. They used to go all the time. I went with them when I was a kid. We used to go in the RV, drive the golf cart. It was fun. But I haven't been in like 10 years or something, probably more. Definitely more, because I'm 25 and you can't drive the golf cart unless you're 16. But I was like not even close to 16 when we went. Like my older sister Savannah had to drive the golf cart when we went. So I was probably like 9 or 10 or something. Been a long time. But God rest his soul, Grampy's gone. So Grammy wanted to go back and bring the whole family and have a good time like we used to. So, but she's a little funny sometimes. She doesn't really ask anybody's opinion before doing things. So she was she just rang us up one day and say, "Hey, I rented a house for a week in Myrtle Beach. I'll see you there." And we're like, "Oh, guess we gotta get plane tickets." Not really a decision-making process there. Just kind of, I guess we're going. And it was a lovely house. We live reasonably close to an airport, but instead of trying to fly out of that one, because it would have been like an extra $100 to $150 per person, because it's a smaller airport, we decided it'd be better just to take the bus down to Boston and fly out of there. So we had to wake up bright and early because our flight from Boston to Myrtle Beach was at 10, I think. 10:30 maybe. But they say you're supposed to get there 2 hours before your plane takes off, which, we'll get into why in a second. So that means we got to get there at 8 or 8:30, and we have a 2-hour bus ride. So, which means the bus leaves at 6. So we had to get there to the bus station, at 5:30. So we had to wake up at 5 or something, 4:30, early, basically. Wake up, make sure you're all packed up, which, do that the night before, but you always forget something. Which I ended up forgetting my toothbrush, even though I borderline had a psychotic break when we got down there, because I was like, I know I packed it.
It's not good.
With certainty, I packed my toothbrush. Angry. I was very upset, especially because I don't know what I saw in my backpack, but I thought it was my I thought, like, let's say I'm looking for my phone charger. I'm like, okay, clothes, toothbrush, phone charger. And then when I came back later that day, I was like, all right, I just saw my toothbrush. Where is it? Apparently, I'd never had it in the first place. So I don't know what was going on there. I was clearly losing my marbles. Regardless, we get to Myrtle Beach. My cousin picks us up from the airport. And when he gets there, he's like, oh, there's a problem. His trunk is suddenly stuck and won't open. So that was a thing. We throw our stuff in the back seat, just sit next to it. We drive there. Got slightly lost on the way. Like we got turned around in the campground somehow.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And it was my cousin and his brother sitting in the front seat bickering. He was like, "You're an idiot, bro. Why didn't you turn left?" But we finally got to the house, and it was gorgeous. Like, I don't know how much it would cost to own that thing, or how much it cost to rent it, but it was clearly expensive. Right next to the water. It's on this beautiful campground. It had a lot of bedrooms, which is actually hilarious. Our bedroom was the one with the king bed.
There's another one with the king bed upstairs, but
Yeah.
we were
yeah.
like on the main floor.
We attached to the bathroom, and I guess my sister said that, oh, well, Grammy should have had this one, but she didn't want it for some reason, so you guys get to have the king bed. And we're like, oh.
Because upstairs they had like individual balcony kind of things or like porches, and I guess the adultier adults wanted to have the like
the over 30s.
separate balconies, so or the separate porches, because there was like a main porch right outside. Because like all these houses are on stilts, and then there's like a porch, and then the actual house. But like the second floor of the house also had a little porch for that, like the rooms went out into.
Yes.
Some of the rooms, anyways.
So we got there on Sunday. My sister and my 2 cousins and the dog arrived on Saturday. My grandmother flew with my 2 aunts. The 3 of them were supposed to arrive on Saturday as well.
Yeah, we were supposed to get there last.
We were going to be the last ones there. Well, you know how I mentioned you're supposed to get there 2 hours before your flight? I don't know if they didn't do that or something happened in the airport. I didn't ask. But the ladies missed their flight somehow. So then they had to catch another one the next day. And so when they finally came down, after dinner time, like 8 p.m.
Yeah,
on
it was
Sunday,
like 8 p.m.
it was late. My aunt walked in, and I was like, oh, hi, Auntie. She's like, don't even ask, Michael. I was like, okay. I'm glad you're here now.
Yeah.
But I don't know what happened, but clearly nothing good.
Yeah.
So that was Sunday.
Yeah.
We had burgers and dogs. My cousin cooked them on the grill. It was pretty good. It was fun.
Yeah, we don't even have to get too in depth about it, but we can just
Do you
talk
want
about
to say what
the
happened?
highlights.
Yeah. Hey, do you want to talk about a few things?
Well, yeah. So Monday we went to Medieval Times.
Which was super
It was
fun.
just me, him, and his sister because no one else wanted to come with us, which is silly because it was easily one of the best things we did all week.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorites. And we don't have, like, the closest Medieval Times to us is New Jersey. And who wants to go to New Jersey?
Kev, I know you might be watching this, and you live in New Jersey.
You probably know.
I weep
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah. So, we were really excited that there was a Medieval Times in Myrtle Beach because I've been thinking about Medieval Times because sometimes you see it on TikTok. There's this, yeah, so I was really excited, even though it was expensive. But also I kind of gooned it a little bit. Now it's past, I feel like I can talk about it, but we had been on the beach when we were buying when I was buying the tickets. I did it on my phone. And some combination of not having good service and maybe the lighting, but like I could see my phone fairly well, so I really think the service, like something happened, because when I was on the thing, it lets you pick your date and everything. You can't pick like where you sit or anything, but to buy your tickets you have to say obviously what date and time you want. So I clicked for Monday, and I clicked, they only have 5 p.m. on Monday, I guess. So I did that, and and it was that Monday, it was like the 5th, and I had said that, but then I went through and I bought it, and then literally like an hour, not even, before we were supposed to leave, probably like 30 minutes before we were supposed to leave, we were just like in the house. I'm like, okay, let me pull up the ticket information on my emails and email it to you to make sure it's all set. And it was set for the next Monday, which we were gonna not be in Myrtle Beach anymore. So I was like, oh god, oh no. And so they don't let you cancel or like refund your tickets. You have to just reschedule it. So I called the number to like reschedule it or just to get help or whatever. And I was like, hey, I bought tickets, but I didn't mean to make them for that day. Is there any availability tonight? And so she's like, yeah, and the lady on the phone was so nice. And at the place, they call you like Lord and Lady and stuff. But even the customer service on the phone does that, which was really nice. So that was cool. And she there's like a $50 rescheduling fee, but that's fine. That's not that bad. So I just did that. I gave her my card number so I could pay for that, and then like she fixed our tickets and everything. And then when we went there, they didn't have I guess they set up the tickets ahead of time, but since I had rescheduled it so late, I rescheduled it probably actually within like 10 minutes of us leaving. So they didn't have it, so they had to I couldn't gather it, but I overheard the lady who had been helping us at the desk once we got there talk to one of her coworkers, and I was like, they have really good seats. And I was like, oh, I know, this better be lit. And so we ended up in the red section, and we were right next to like where the queen sits, and we got lots of interaction with all the people, the knights, and like the guy who kind of runs the show.
He's a knight too.
I don't think so.
He's like the master of arms.
Well, whatever he is, we got a good interaction with him because we literally were right next to where they all come out, and it was so fun.
Yeah, and in between events and stuff, the guy would like ask us how we were enjoying the show, and you know if our knight was performing well to our liking. We're like, you know, we all had flags, so the red flag, and we were like, go red team.
Yeah.
Very exciting. We took it very seriously, which was good for us. Heartbreaking for some of the other knights. There's 6 knights. There's red, then there's a black and white knight, yellow, blue, and then a yellow-red knight, and then green is the last one. The blue section and the yellow-red section were just like dead silent all night. The yellow and red section was the second largest one. Black and white was the largest one, and they were going crazy. And red, we were a lot smaller, like just from a seating area perspective, but we were being very loud as well. But the like 2 opposite of us were like dead silent all night. There was people there, they just didn't care. People were on their phones, they weren't cheering, nobody was waving flags. It was weird. I felt bad for the.
I was like, why are you even here?
Yeah, you gotta get crazy when you're at the medieval times, bro. Imagine if you were a peasant in 1101 and some guy was about to get beheaded, you'd be going insane. Alright, that's all I'm saying. It's the only entertainment you're getting all year.
Maybe not the beheading, but maybe the jousting, like what medieval times is, but okay.
So people used to die at the jousting.
Yeah, but like I don't think anyone's. I mean, maybe after the beheading, but I think they could maybe be a little quieter before the beheading.
You're telling me nobody's screaming, off with his head?
Okay, maybe. I don't know. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to say that medieval times was great, and if there's one near you, or if you go somewhere where there is one, you should do it, because it was so fun.
Avoid the New Jersey one, though. No, there's no crime that deserves the punishment of going to New Jersey.
You know what's devastating, actually, is that I feel like everything that we've wanted to do recently is like the closest one is New Jersey, because guess what? There used to be a Rainforest Cafe in Boston, and one night we were like, yo, we should go to a Rainforest Cafe, because, you know, it's just fun. And then we were looking up and like, oh god, the Boston one closed, and the closest one is freaking New Jersey.
Was that the one in Canada, I think, right?
Yeah, but it's on the Niagara Falls, like, Canada side.
Oh.
And by the way, if you didn't know, there's 2 Rainforest Cafes at Niagara Falls. One on the like New York side and one on the Canada side.
Is the Niagara Falls, New York one closer than the New Jersey one?
No.
Darn.
Yeah. So basically, I don't know what is happening. Like, everyone I feel like talks crap about New York or New Jersey, but apparently that's where things are popping.
Which part of New Jersey is the Rainforest Cafe in?
Like, you'll have to look it up.
I'll look it up right now.
Anyways, the next day we went to this Pirates thing, which is apparently owned, sponsored, I don't know what, by Dolly Parton. That was fun. They had some animals, like there was a seal, that was super cool. But I was like, it can't compare to medieval times. It was just like so much fun. And we had like been front row at medieval times, and we had such like personal interaction, so you don't really get that at the Pirates thing, or at least not for us. I mean, maybe if you're a child. Because the kids got to play games on that. That was cool.
It's in Edison, New Jersey, and it is 6.5 hours away.
Yeah.
Realistically, not that far. Far for dinner. Definitely far for dinner. But I used to drive 6 hours to college from home, so.
Yeah, at least then you're like staying there for a few months.
Yeah, then I'm there for the foreseeable future, but driving 6.5 hours to get some frog dinner is...
Well, that could literally be a whole day thing that we just drive down, get it for lunch, and then drive back home. We live like
all
really
that,
early in the morning.
All that mileage, gas money.
Just for a Rainforest Cafe.
Butt pain, sitting in the car for 12 hours in a day. Yeah. For some Rainforest Cafe. A small price to pay for a Rainforest Cafe.
So yeah, medieval times, then we had Pirates. The next day we did a Chinese buffet, which, by the way, Myrtle Beach Chinese buffets, at least the one we went to, can't hold a candle to main buffets, and I said that. Or Chinese buffets, specifically.
Yes.
My favorite Chinese buffet ever used to be in Lewiston, and it closed, and I am still devastated. I hope it comes back.
Let's hope. There was a minor issue with the Chinese buffet also was that we only had one car, which is fine. When we needed to get somewhere, we would Uber there. No big deal. It's cheaper than renting a car.
Yeah.
I did the math between like all the Ubers that we rented were like $240, call it $250 for the week, or for Ubers. It would be like at least $300 to rent a car for a week, not to mention gas. So it just financially makes more sense to just Uber in this case. If we had gone to more places, maybe you could have rented a car and it would have been cheaper, but no. And we had golf carts. We had 3 golf carts, 2 of which you could not take off the campus. One of the golf carts you could, but you had to be at least 25 to drive that one. None of my aunts or my grandmother are going to be taking that thing off campus. They're all going to pile in the car and make my cousin drive them. Completely fine, right? That just means the kids got to take the golf cart places. So we did. However, we did not realize... We wanted to leave for dinner at like 6. We ended up leaving for dinner at like 7.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I'm halfway through dinner. It's 7:30, and by the way, it's pouring outside. On and off, but it was raining pretty severely. And my grandma goes, "Oh, by the way, you need to have the golf cart back on campus by 8." I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, you'll get a ticket if you don't." I was like, "Oh," so I had to get up from the table and take Michaela with me, and we had to leave early from dinner to go bring the golf cart back.
Yeah. Which is like one of those things where it's like really annoying because if they knew that, then everyone should have just gotten ready and gone to dinner earlier, which we definitely could have. Like we weren't doing really much of anything beforehand.
Yeah, it was just miscommunication and lack of urgency, which was upsetting. It wasn't a big deal because obviously I was already done eating. She probably wasn't, but
no, and I hate being rushed.
Yeah.
With food.
So. And it was only across the street, really, from the campground, but it was like a concern, which it shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
But that was kind of the only time that was really an issue.
And then the next day, we went to this thing called the Carolina Opry, which is just like they sing to you.
Yeah, that was on Thursday.
And there were some tap dancers.
Tap dancers were really good.
They were so good. I love tap dancing.
Do you remember what their little group was called?
No.
Like All of That or something?
No, but I'm sure if you look at the Carolina Opry website, they probably have them listed. They were apparently on America's Got Talent. So, that was good. I think I enjoyed it more than most of your family did.
I'm literally correct. They're called All That.
Good job.
You're welcome.
You said all of that, so.
I was 2 letters off, okay?
A lot of it was singing, like, country music, so.
When you Google All That tap dancers, some of them got some interesting names. First result, Carolina Opry's All That. The next one is from 2012. They're just titled All That, and it was posted to YouTube by Osama bin Laden's Gaming.
What the heck?
What a name.
So anyways, that one was good. I liked it, but they don't serve you food there, so we had gone to a restaurant beforehand. And it was okay. They had this really good, like, frosé, like a frozen rosé, which I got, but the food was kind of weird. And I got a shrimp po' boy, because back at, this is going to sound wacky, but back at UMaine, sometimes they would, for like Mardi Gras, or also just randomly, they would have shrimp po' boys at the dining hall. And I had tried one time, one of the Mardi Gras days, or like years, and I had it, and it was delicious. And so then every time they had it, I would get very excited, and I would have some, maybe 2 even.
Whoa.
And so when I saw that they had shrimp po' boys on the menu, I was like very excited. Except for it sucked. It was not good. Which to me is like, we're in the South. Should they not have a better shrimp po' boy than UMaine? I feel like yes, but it was not that place.
Though I have to say, it's not like Mardi Gras and all that Cajun stuff is as prevalent in South Carolina as it is in like New Orleans.
Yeah.
It's like going to Connecticut and wondering why your lobster roll isn't as good as you would think. Like, yes, you are in New England, so you should be getting better lobster, but it's not like getting it from actual Maine. And the distance there, the difference in culture is even larger
Yeah, I guess
in
that's
South
true.
Carolina compared to Louisiana.
I was just disappointed by that. And also we got this spinach artichoke dip, and it was just like weird. It was not like a normal shrimp artichoke dip, so that was disappointing as well.
Their jalapeno poppers were weird. My cousin almost sent his back because he was like, one, these aren't spicy, and two, they're red instead of green. Are these even jalapenos? And I was like, well, yes, they are actually, because some jalapenos are red. Though we looked it up, and the red jalapenos are less spicy. When a jalapeno matures a certain amount, it turns red and loses its spice. So they were jalapeno poppers, but they weren't spicy because they were red.
Yeah.
So they were kind of disappointing also. They tasted fine, but they didn't have that kick. Like if you buy jalapeno poppers, you want them to be spicy, but they weren't there. Though I had very good beer called a Dirty Myrtle. It was locally brewed. It was delicious. Delicious.
Oh, yes. We do say deliscus around here.
Sometimes. Every once in a while, you gotta throw a delicious out there.
Yep. And then Friday, we ended up going to a seafood buffet.
Yes, we went just the two of us. We've been trying to get around to it all week, but the timing just kind of hadn't worked out until Friday, where we just took an Uber, the two of us, and we went to this place called Captain George's. It was excellent.
It was so good. And I have clips, like videos from most of the things that we did during the week, so I am hopefully gonna kind of just make a little vlog style video. It probably won't be that long.
Link it in the description when she's done.
Oh, okay, I'll try. So if you want to see some of the things we did, I will have that up maybe this week or maybe next week. I don't know, but something to maybe look forward to.
Yes, it's like a. Hold on. It's like a reward.
I was like, what the? So, that's where we were. That's what happened. Unfortunately, I got gooned by my computer, I guess.
Oh, you know what? I forgot to mention. I went fishing on Friday.
Oh, yes. Good.
Yes, me, my two cousins, we got on a boat. It was just three of us. It was a chartered private boat. My grandma had. It was another one of those things where she was just like, "Hey, you guys are going fishing on Friday." We're like, "Oh, okay, sounds fun. Thanks for letting me know."
Yeah. What fish did you catch?
I caught a handful of different ones. We were out on the water for like 5 or 6 hours. We were 23 miles off the coast, so literally just water everywhere, right smack in the. Obviously not in the middle of the ocean, but it feels that way when you can't see land in any direction. I caught a toadfish, which I have a picture of. It's very ugly. Our captain was a woman, actually, and she said, she was lovely, she was great, she did a very good job. She said, it's the ugliest fish in the sea, and I was like, well, you know what? He do be gross, so I believe it. Noah caught a pufferfish, which, you know, if not for the faint of heart, but apparently this is something they do in the South. She was like, you ain't from the South if you never done this before. And she tickled him and he inflated and she was like, check this out. And she threw him on the floor and he bounced like a ball. And we were all like, oh! And she's like, yeah, he's fine. And she picked him up and she threw him back in the water and he swam away. I touched him. He felt weird. He felt like a prickly rubber ball. He's weird. He was kind of on the smaller side, but it was weird seeing her bouncing, but he seemed fine.
It's funny.
It was odd. But we caught my other cousin. So I have two cousins, Noah and Ethan. Noah caught the pufferfish. Ethan caught a red snapper.
Ooh, nice.
And it had this lovely like pink red color to it.
I myself have caught many red snappers in Animal Crossing.
We heard it here first. Unfortunately, the snapper was not large enough for us to keep, so tossed it back as well. Neither of my cousins had any interest in eating any of the fish that we got. But when we got in the boat, she said, are you guys looking to fish for fun, or are you looking to fish for food? And I was like, oh, I want to fish for food. If we catch something big enough, I want to eat it. And they were like, yeah, that's fine. I was like, excellent. We caught a handful of triggerfish. They're called triggerfish because they have this spine, like their fin. If you try to push it, it doesn't move at all. Like it's very rigid. They have a slightly smaller fin behind it that if you push down, his front fin goes. So it's like a trigger, but you pull the trigger and his fins go down.
I see.
We caught, then we caught a lot of, they're called grunts, and I believe their full name is blue striped grunt. Got a lot of grunts, and that was, a lot of those were, like 5 of those were big enough to keep. So we kept them. When we came ashore, the captain filleted them for us and put them in a plastic bag. And she was like, here you go. And I just had a few pounds of fish that I was able to bring home. And
on our last night there, so kind of a waste.
yes, but nobody else was going to eat it anyway, so I only needed to make enough for me. It was more than I needed, yes. If we lived locally, I could have brought it home and we could have cooked it another time. Put it in the fridge. We went to Captain George's, came back home, cracked open a couple of beers, and fired up the grill, and I put the fish on it, and it came out really good.
I would have liked that, like if your grandma had scheduled it a few days before so that we could have actually enjoyed some of the fish rather than having to throw it all out. But that's okay.
Yeah, but it was, that day was also Lindsay's birthday. So, and she doesn't do well with boats. She gets seasick. So it was on the one hand for us to go have fun and go fish. However, it was also to get the boys out of the house so the girls could hang out.
Yeah, but I think she would like to have you guys there anyways.
Either way, it was fun. We had a great week, and I would certainly do it again. I want to go back sometime.
Yeah, I do too.
And Grammy, if you're watching this, Auntie, it was great. We had a lot of fun. Thanks for bringing us.
Yep. Thank you. Now I just want to get into some basically rapid fire news for you. So the rebound is over. Taylor Swift and Maddie Healy, whatever it is, broke up. And apparently the day of, or at least I assume one of the days after, she does like secret songs on her tour, and I don't know if that she made her secret songs breakup songs, or it was just like when she was singing breakup songs that are already on the set list for the tour that she was like, people on TikTok were like, she's so emotional, she seems so sad. I'm like, well, she did seem pretty sad in the video, but it was also a little bit like, when people were saying that, I thought she was gonna be like sobbing, singing it. That's not what was happening. But anyways, I guess everyone should be happy because, oh boy, the guy you guys didn't like her with is gone now.
Taylor Swift fans are extremely parasocial individuals. I'm looking at you, Melissa. But it's like they're projecting almost a little bit. They're like, wow, she seems so sad singing a breakup song after breaking up with her boyfriend. Like, yes. But also, this guy was like such a hard, I mean, from my outside perspective, the only information I know about Taylor Swift is what you kind viewers are getting on Good Breakfast Hours. This is the hard-hitting Taylor Swift coverage. People magazine who? But from my perspective, it seems like this guy was a pretty clear rebound. She broke up with some guy she'd been with for 6 years or something ridiculous like that. And then almost immediately, gets together with this loser. I don't know if he's a loser, but he's in the 1975 to make decent music. But regardless, she gets together with this guy, and then her fans are like, wow, we don't like him. Break up with him, Taylor. And when she does, they're like, oh my god, she seems so sad. Like, isn't this what you wanted? You guys are, the cognitive dissonance there is jarring, shocking. I would say it was, actually, it's not that shocking. I would say it was shocking, but you're a Taylor Swift fans, so.
And I believe you had some news about a recent death.
Oh, yeah. Heartbreaking information. A well-known mathematician, historian, proponent of getting a nature lover, big-time fan of getting close with nature, passed away recently. We call Uncle Ted. I don't know if you know him. He's better known for his other work as, if you've ever heard of the Unabomber, he goes by that name as well sometimes. But no, Ted Kaczynski did die in prison the other day. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. He did some pretty terrible things. A lot of people paid the price for his unhinged behavior, which, not to get into all of that, but you ever heard of MK Ultra? Look it up. We don't have time to unpack all of that.
God. We're going to at least make the connection to MK Ultra instead of just saying, hey, MK Ultra.
MK Ultra is a government-operated program from the 70s, 80s, and early 90s where the government uses a combination of psychedelic drugs and perceived methods of mind control such as physical and mental abuse to try to trick people, mind control American citizens into doing what the government wants.
No, I'm not making that up. It's all been declassified. You can look it up.
Ted Kaczynski was a college mathematician who was a victim of these experiments. These experiments are often thought to be the reason for why he degraded into what we now know as the Unabomber.
Basically, the government messed with his brain so much that this really smart person who was reclusive, wanted to live in the woods and be one with nature, started killing people. Very bad. But he passed away recently. They found him dead in jail. That's big news.
Yep.
Rest in peace, I guess.
So that's news. And another piece of news, actually, that I recently heard last night, actually. I don't know, like, how accurate this is. I saw it on TikTok, Under the Desk News, so I hope it is accurate, because it would be good news for us. So, currently, to get monetized on YouTube, you need to have, like, 1,000 subscribers and, like, a lot of watch hours. Many, per year, I think? Something like that. Hi, bud.
Wow.
Come here.
Ross speaks and I listen. Just kidding. Usually I try to ignore him. You look so sad.
I know. Why are you, like, sad?
Wow, you look sadder than Taylor Swift after a breakup with her 6-month rebound boyfriend.
It's definitely not 6 months. It's been, like, a month maybe. I feel like it was so short.
She's so sad, though.
She's so sad. Anyway, supposedly YouTube is changing their monetization guidelines so that you only need 500 subscribers and 500 subscribers and like 3,000 watch hours. I think it's less than it was. The subscriber count is definitely, it's like cut in half. So that's cool because we're almost at 100. So that's just like 100 4 more times and then we'd be there.
I need to get like a Vuvuzuela or something. I need more props. We've got this bad boy. Now this bad boy, we need more props.
Oh, secret lab gadget.
Oh, we've been watching Steins Gate and it's very good. Oh, here comes the cat again.
What was that? Did you see the way he walked?
Yeah, he was like strutting. He was doing the swag walk.
I want to get a soundboard, so I have to look into that.
You know what? Is the whiteboard even prop number 1, or is that like my coffee cup is prop number 1?
Not really. It's just a coffee cup that you drink out of.
Right, but like the computer and the microphone don't count as props, obviously, because they're necessary for the production. But like the drinking apparatuses, I don't know if they're necessarily props or not.
It's a prop. I think it's just my drinky drink. But okay. Sure.
He's kicking me.
Here we go.
Wow, where are your manners? Don't kick.
Tell them what you want.
Ted Kaczynski will be vindicated. The Industrial Revolution and its consequences.
If you want raw content, subscribe to Raw Cat of the Sun on TikTok. Or I guess follow. It's not really subscriptions on TikTok. I made a TikTok account for him.
I believe in the most recent post is when I picked him up yesterday to try to get him to kill this really big spider on the ceiling. And he wouldn't do it, he just stared at him.
Yeah.
I was like, where's your killer instinct, bro? He 404 not found, I guess.
So what's your news?
In the 1800s, in the very early 1900s, the state of Maine had a different flag than it does today. If you are familiar with the South Carolina, coincidentally, flag, the one that's got the palmetto tree and the moon, well, Maine had one that was very similar, but with a pine tree. And then it got taken away for that generic blue flag with the state badge that Connecticut has. Yeah. Another, like a lot of the New England states have flags like that. Well, recently Maine voted to get it changed back. So we're going to get our very iconic Maine flag back. Huge dub.
Some people, like, before that happened, people had, like, bumper stickers of the old flag and stuff, so it had some traction, you know?
Yeah, Maine is, a lot of states have their own identity. Like, think about Texas. Texas has such like a strong state identity. And part of that is the identity of like the Lone Star State, right? You know things about Texas that are firmly Texas. Maine is like that in a lot of ways too, and having that distinctive flag back would go a long way to affirming that state identity. Touching the cat. Bah, 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 bah.
Oh, not news, but a fun thing for me personally is if you're on TikTok also, go look up the like One Margarita song. I'm sure if you type that in, it will know what it's talking about. It's a stupid, I guess some lady goes to college campuses and is preaching about like abstinence and stuff, except for one of the videos is her saying like, if you give her a margarita, she will open her legs, or like she'll like jump on your male sex organ. And and then of course all the college students are like, yeah.
It's literally just like this woman raving about, careful, don't give your girlfriend alcohol or she'll have sex with you. And all the men who are around are like, whoa!
And so there was this, I guess, like podcast also that was reacting to it. And the lady was like, this sounds like it could be a rap song. And so she started she was dropping bars, and someone actually like edited it and put in a beat and everything and did like a remix. So it's on Spotify also, but it's not appropriate, but it do have a good beat though.
Stay away, Grandma.
Yeah,
that one's not for you.
That one's not for you, but it is for the youngins that like a good beat, I guess.
Yeah, that one's definitely for Crollo.
That one's for Crollo.
Can I put Crollo on blast for a second?
Okay, sure.
Crollo sent a message in confidence the other day. Just kidding, it was in the group chat. There was a lot of people there. And Crollo basically said that a woman walked past him the other day and he got scared. And I was like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. He was like, I don't know, bro. It was a shady part of town. What if she stabs me? And I was like, come on, bro. And then I remember Crollo's like 5'3" and 110 pounds. And I was like, wow.
Maybe. You know what? He just thought it was me and he got scared. Because he knows.
True. If Crollo ever meets Michaela in real life, there's going to be a real rumble. And since they're about the same size and shape, I think Michaela might get him. Crollo's not actually 5'3", 110 pounds or whatever, but I do remember him being short and weighing very little. Like proportions of a woman.
Yeah.
Oh, we saw Spider-Man.
We did see Spider-Man.
It was very good.
Before we go, obviously it's June. That's Pride Month. So if you didn't notice, the hair. That's a little shout out to the LGBT for Pride Month.
You know,
and I'm going to do a Pride Parade today, even though it's raining. So. In
a distinctly different direction. It's also Father's Day tomorrow, so I'm going to go see my dad.
I'm also doing that. Shout out to fathers.
Shout out, yeah. Fathers.
Shout out.
Shout out. Very important.
But that's pretty much it. A little bit of a shorter video because we got places to be.
Yeah, as soon as we're done here, I gotta get in my car and drive to Connecticut.
And I have to go to a Pride Parade.
Oh, that reminds me. Unfortunately, New Jersey's back in the conversation. This Monday, I have to get on a plane at 10 a.m. and fly to New Jersey for work, and I'm going to be there until Thursday night, where I'm going to get on a plane to come home. But I'm being banished to New Jersey for my crimes, I guess, which is quite upsetting.
That's what you get for crapping on New Jersey.
Kev, if you're watching this, you're up. Coming for you. And he's been name dropped 2 or 3 times in this episode because we can't shut up about New Jersey.
That's so true.
You're lucky that I'm not going to where the Rainforest Cafe is.
So true. I'd be so jealous.
I think that would be. There's only 2 options.
New Jersey isn't even that small or that big.
It might be close, but I have 2 options here. I can either go to New Jersey or go to the Rainforest Cafe alone, or try to get the one coworker who's coming with me. We can go get Rainforest Cafe.
I'll be so jealous though, so maybe you should. So. That's the video. We hope you enjoyed. Mostly just a check-in, I guess.
Yeah.
The news was at the end, but...
It's funny. Real Breakfast Hours is one part, like, silly bits, and another part just spewing about what's going on in our lives. Yeah. Which is probably why our family members like it so much. But we have some very cool friends who'll be sending breakfasts and be watching religiously, so...
Oh, I remember what I was going to say. I mean... we don't have time for it, but if we had time for it, I would have loved to do an Am I the Asshole? But as far as I know, Reddit is still striking. So
Yeah,
I don't
Reddit is
even know if
striking.
you can get on the Am I the Asshole thread right now. Probably not. But that's okay, because we don't cross the picket line. So thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, tell us what you're thinking. If you want to see anything, if you want advice,
Send us your breakfast.
Send us your breakfast.
Very important to send us your breakfast.
Subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for tuning in.